What is up, my dudes? It's officially December. It's Christmas time, which means only one thing. Week 14 waiver wire ads are live. And let's be real. Nothing screams fantasy football quite like Christmas shopping parking lots in December. You're circling the mall like a vulture at 6:42 p.m. on a Saturday. Blinker on for 15 minutes. Stalking that one minivan that's been loading gifts since the Obama administration. Praying they pull out so you can slide in before some guy in a Santa hat with reindeer antlers on his Prius snakes your spot. High risk, high reward. Same exact energy as streaming a defense against the Panthers. It looks genius on paper until Stafford suddenly forgets how to hold the football and Bryce Young suddenly remembers he was the first overall pick. So before someone else parallel parks their roster into your playoff hopes, let's grab the best waiver wire ads you can actually snag this week. You know what's more annoying than Christmas parking or putting up Christmas lights? It's finding the perfect waiver wire ad, lighting up your phone at 10 p.m. and realizing that dude is somehow rostered 99% of the leagues I'm in. That's why everyone on this list is under 40% rostered on Sleeper, the absolute best place to play fantasy football. I'm doing my absolute best to make sure these guys are actually sitting on your waiver wire for you. So yeah, we're scraping the bottom of the barrel here, but let's find some diamonds before someone else parallel parks their roster into your playoff hopes. First up, week 13 injury report, guys. And there were a little bit of injuries this week. We had Parker, Washington, Amon-Ra, St. Brown, Marvin Harrison Jr., Aaron Jones. Also, some teams on bye this week: Panthers, Patriots, Giants, and 49ers. So, just some chapters, what we're going through on this episode for today's show. I got quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, wrapping up the show with some trending or ending. So, guys, let's hike this to our quarterbacks. Quarterback, Tyrod Taylor, 6% rostered, played against Miami. Miami just gave up 17 fantasy points versus Tyler Show. Okay, Saints quarterback. Might even be saying that name wrong, which is a very good possibility. Tyrod Taylor had 2 total TDs last week, 1 on the ground, 44 yards rushing. You got 2 on the other side, maybe a decent fantasy stream. I don't love it, though. I like Tyrod Taylor here. There's some more quarterbacks that are higher rostered than 40%. They'll be on trending or ending over in the later segment at the end, so you can stick around till then. That's the only quarterback I got, guys, right now. I got Tyrod Taylor. Sure, there's some gross plays like Trevor Lawrence. You also could be one of those guys that likes other gross plays that you don't like eggnog. That's like the type of people that want to play Trevor Lawrence. I'm not excited about Trevor Lawrence. I never am. That's an absolute desperation play right now. Running backs. Let's hand it off the running backs. I got Blake Corum, 23% rostered. The top handcuff to add, guys. 7 carries, 81 yards, and a TD. Automatic top 15 running back instantly if anything at all happens to Kyren Williams. Kyren Williams misses any time at all. Blake Corum, guys, 23% rostered. That's inexcusable. We got to add him, guys. Get him on your team. If you've already got playoffs locked, add Blake Corum. If you're just absolutely just gutting it out every single week, then that makes sense where you got to have a bell cow. But the guy had a TD run, so maybe he gets a little bit more goal line work. Then Chris Rodriguez, 42% rostered at Minnesota, 11 for 41 and a touchdown. It wasn't pretty. The guy's TD dependent, and sometimes that's all you can deal with. So 42% rostered might be there. Then we got Bam Knight, 41% rostered, double-digit touches in 5 of the last 6 games, 3 straight double-digit fantasy football points in half-point PPR. You're holding Trey Benson like I am. It's been terrible. It's been brutal, but we can't ignore Bam Knight. It's similar how you can't ignore Christmas lights, guys. You don't have to like them, but you got to respect them. There's a lot of work that goes into that, guys. So Bam Knight, he needs to be rostered. I'm hoping, my fingers are crossed that we get Trey Benson. You just never know. Then Ray Davis, very valuable handcuff. Expanded rule this past week. Just need to see a little bit more out of him. And guys, other things you need to see a bit more. Maybe you're just playing fantasy football every week. Maybe you're not in playoffs anymore and you just like listen to me because you like the sound of my voice. Maybe you think I'm funny. I doubt any of that is true unless you're my mother. But if there's some more fantasy football you need, head over to Sleeper. Promo code DUDES100. They'll match you up to $100, guys. That's Sleeper. Absolute best place to play fantasy football. But Sleeper Picks is a lot of fun. You go in there, you pick the higher, you pick the lower. We do a live show with our favorite plays every single week. Come in there, gas us up. We'll gas you up. We'll give you a start, sits, all that good stuff there, guys, on the live Thursday night, 9 p.m. Pacific. Head over there for that. But you got to go over to Sleeper. Promo code DUDES100, and they'll match you up to $100. Let's throw this over to our wide receivers, guys. I got A.D. Mitchell, 7% rostered, playing against the Dolphins. The A.D. Mitchell haters are quiet. I'm talking to you, Fantasy Dad. I see all the hate there on X, and I'm not saying I'm an A.D. Mitchell lover, but the guy did have high draft capital spent on him. He's getting tons and tons of targets, 25 targets in 3 games. You can't ignore that. Finally had that breakout game. 8 catches for 102 and a TD, looking to carry it on against the Dolphins here. I like the spot. We need to add A.D. Mitchell. Very high flex option there. At least a number 3 wide receiver option this week in fantasy football. The volume's there. And if Tyrod Taylor can keep giving it to him, he's going to deliver. Then I have Dontavian Wicks, 3% rostered versus Chicago. Broke out with 2 TDs on Thanksgiving. It's boom or bust. But Jordan Love has had late December heroics before. There's no Kraft. He's still looking for that number 1 to fill in for him. Chicago twice in the next 3 weeks, which is a tough matchup, but the Packers have to win. And we just need a little bit of something from Love because we've seen him lock on to guys before. You know, like he did with Kraft, maybe Dontavian. It seems like every time I trust Dontavian, he lets me down. So I'm kind of hesitant, but maybe it's different this time. Maybe it's real this time. I don't know. Devon Bailey, on this show a lot last year. 3% rostered at Tampa Bay. You want to play the Saints QB this week? That's another one that's not bad. Low rostered, playing against the Bucks. It's risky business. 8 targets, 8 catches, 93 yards, back-to-back games with 7+ targets. Flex option versus the Bucks. Isaac Tesla. I don't know how to say that one. He's got 2 A's in his first name, Isaac, and 2 names in Tesla at the end. 5% versus Dallas on Thursday Night Football. Got his 3rd TD of the season. Amon-Ra St. Brown's out for sure, it looks like this week. Maybe another week. Decent ad here. You know, they're going to be throwing the ball over there in Detroit. Then tight ends. You guys like that little sound effect? You don't like it? Let me know in the comments on YouTube, and let me know what waiver wire ads you're going for as well. Evan Ingram, 33% rostered at the Las Vegas Raiders. Led the team in receiving yards, 6 for 9 for 79 yards. It's, you know, he played good last year. I think Ingram could get a little bit of something going here at the end of the year. I don't dislike Evan Ingram. Then I have Darren Waller, 37% rostered, led the Dolphins in receiving yards this past week. It was 47 receiving yards. That's the 2 tight ends I got right there, guys. Some trending or ending. Got some more tight ends in here on trending and ending. Got some quarterbacks as well. While I'm pulling that up, guys, just remember today's episode is brought to you by our friends over at Trophy Smack. Head over to Trophy Smack, guys. TrophySmack.com/dudes for 15% off your whole entire order, guys. Go over to Trophy Smack. Really helps us out. It's a great place to get a fantasy football trophy. It's a great place to get a last place fantasy football punishment as well. Like maybe you're in a family league and you got to get that last place punishment. Wrap it up for the last place guy. Have him open it up in front of grandma. That's perfect. That's brilliant. It's not the best gift, but it's a little extra something like, why do you have your name on a toilet seat, Junior? Well, I took last place in fantasy football. Then he has the privilege of explaining to grandma what fantasy football actually is. I like it. You should like it. Trending down quarterbacks that you should be looking that are possibly getting dropped on your waiver wire. Sam Darnold, 62% rostered, trending down on Sleeper. Don't let Sam Darnold be a free agent in your league. He's QB 15 right now. He had a rough week. It wasn't. He had a rough week against Minnesota. I don't think they really need him. His ankle, he got a little banged up. Should be good to go, though, guys, against the Falcons this week. 62% rostered. Pick up Sam Darnold. That's a guy that's trending down that should not be. That's the only quarterback I got trending down there. Quarterback's trending up at the moment. I have CJ Stroud. Do you really want to play CJ Stroud this week playing against the Kansas City Chiefs? I don't really like that matchup. So I can't get myself to do that one. Running backs that are trending it down, handing it off to running backs. Emmanuel Wilson, I still think there's a little spot for Emmanuel Wilson there in Green Bay if something happens. Pacheco, hesitant with Chiefs running backs. Devin Singletary, he would have been on this list because Tyron Tracy got hurt in the Monday Night Football game, but they're on bye. If you got the roster space, pick up Devin Singletary because there's no telling what's really wrong with Tracy. Isaiah Davis, valuable handcuff there in New York. Unless, did he get hurt or something? Am I missing him? No, he didn't get a touch on Sunday, but I still think he's a valuable ad over there because Breece Hall gets hurt. Just plug that guy in right there. That's what I got on running backs. The receivers I got trending down, which just could, every receiver should be trending down after last Sunday. Darnell Mooney, 62% rostered. Yeah, Cousins hasn't looked great with Mooney. He hasn't looked. Mooney had 16 fantasy points 2 weeks ago. Playing Seattle this week. Going to take all hands on deck. Don't mind Darnell Mooney right now. He's 62% rostered. He's trending down. And Andre Yoshevas had a TD last week. 8 fantasy points the week before. T. Higgins should be back. If not, Andre Yoshevas should be okay there. Other guys I got trending down. Ricky Pearsall, I'm just not seeing enough out of Ricky. I really want him to be good. Jordan Addison, you can't really play anyone on the Vikings. I don't know if you can really drop Jordan Addison either per se. Troy Franklin's trending down. In the right spot, he might be okay. They're playing the Raiders. I don't think this is Troy Franklin's spot. And then Khalil Shakir, but he's 85% rostered. So that doesn't really matter. Tight ends, we're not going to go trending or ending on tight ends. I think we can end it there on that. So, guys, thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. This has been your Week 14 waiver list. Make sure to check it twice. Now go add those players before some Santa-wearing Prius driver takes them. So I hope to see you guys on Thursday night the live, and I hope to see you Thursday morning, or listen to us, guys. We have our start, sit, sleepers coming back this week, and then Thursday night we got the real party. Kick your weekend off early with the dudes after Thursday Night Football, 9 p.m. Pacific on YouTube or X. We'll be answering all your start, sit questions, giving you our favorite sleeper plays, lineup suggestions, dating suggestions, anything, guys. Sky's the limit. We got some nice vibes there. Head over to YouTube at TFF Dudes. Give us a like. Give us a sub. We'll see you next time. And as always, take care.